picks. I have to say that's kind of catching me off guard. I don't know if people are just trying him more, but
I think he's in the experimental.
And then there's Necrophos too, who seems to be popping up here and there.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to it.
I've never heard. I didn't hear that. I've never heard that the one Russian line there, where he sounds like he's choking. That was interesting.
You know,
That says you can mute it. I don't know how.
Oh, you can mute the players, but you can't mute them in this.
JJ.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who says you're a goddamn hero?
I think it's LD.
But it doesn't sound like him.
Dude, somebody told me it was
Really?
Toby.
You don't think that sounds like him? No, that's LD almost certainly.
Yeah, it is LD, but to me it sounds like almost Red Eye.
I thought it was Red Eye too. It sounds Red Eye.
Exactly, but I know it's not.
Really?
You are all crazy. The first time I heard that is 100% LD. I don't remember where it's from. I could have been casting with him when it was happening. I have no fucking idea. But it sounds like him 100%.
That's definitely not the one I would piece to that.
Yeah,
Really?
same.
Wait,
Okay.
what happened to the Ogre Magi audio that he did?
The ding ding ding.
Did they get rid of
motherfucker?
that? Yeah, that was just last year?
Was it?
Yeah, it was never a chat wheel.
It wasn't. It wasn't a chat wheel. I don't think they wanted to add it because
really?
he swore. I'm pretty sure they before TI6. I remember them telling us like, don't swear. Do your best not to swear. So they kind of frown upon it. I think for Valve, and I don't think they want to add it to the game because it's kind of controversial. I think it would have been fine to add, but I can see why.
Are you sure they never added it?
I feel like it was added.
I'm pretty sure they didn't add it.
I've never heard it in game, but I feel like I saw it somewhere in game.
I'm pretty sure it was not added.
God,
My gut is telling me that I did not dream this. Now, I will say, in terms of heroes popping off lately, Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden, yep.
Dude, these CM off lanes are... She's something, man. That level 1 Crystal Nova is kind of gross.
It's a lot of damage now, right? And so you just do dual offlane with CM and what, like one other hero or something like that?
Yeah, they hang out.
What do you usually pair it with it? Just anything like Beastmaster, for example, in this game?
I think spam.
Okay.
And the changes to intelligence and strength, giving more health regen and mana regen based off those stats, combined with the CM aura, makes some of these heroes just disgusting to play against. Like CM actually has infinite mana with like 2 levels in aura.
Yeah, that is nice. She definitely still has her problems though. Like a lot of the times you'll be like level 5 or like level 7 or something, and someone will like be coming near you, and you'll be like, "All right, guys, I only have 1 spell." Like, you know what I mean? Like her mana pool is still so small.
Yep.
But yeah, she's up there. She's in like almost every game right now. I feel like in terms of support first pick right now in pubs, most people are leaning towards just picking CM.
I'm into it. She seems like she can be very strong. I also like the added bonus of having it against Chen, who I think is still a pretty good... Although he hasn't been banned in this particular game. Is Chen still considered good after the TI hub? Or I guess they nerfed the shit out of him, didn't they? I forgot that completely. They changed so much about him.
He got nerfed super
hard. I kind of forgot about that for a second. I remember looking at the patch notes at the hub and just being like, this hero is garbage now.
10 seconds remaining.
They took a bat to him. It was one of the hardest baseball bat nerfs I've ever seen, actually.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of brutal considering how like it still was kind of a team-specific hero. Like there were definitely teams that just never played Chen, and it almost feels like they got rewarded because now they never have to.
Yeah, they don't have to learn. It's perfect. By the way, ding 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 motherfucker confirmed. Never added to the chat wheel. So we were
lies.
I have like multiple sources.
Lies.
Multiple sources, huh? How credible are these sources?
They're pretty freaking credible, I would say.
Was it from the mouth of LD himself?
No, it was not from the mouth of LD himself, although we can get him involved here if you'd like me to send a tweet at him or something.
It's probably like way past his bedtime. Don't do that.
I would assume yes as well. Actually, it's not that
Why can't we open our old compendiums? That's what we need.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been
I
nice,
was trying to open mine the other day. I was trying to open last year's compendium out of curiosity, and I couldn't. And I realized, oh, is it not possible?
Can you really not do it? I wanted to
find
check,
a way.
But, I can't get off the draft, so... Yeah, that sucks. Well, it's not... I'll just say one thing. Whether or not it was in last year's, which it wasn't, it's not in this year's, and that's all that matters, all right?
All right,
That's not what all that matters, all right? How dare you?
That's a bit of a rough Void pick into Dark Willow. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, very interesting. Especially picking it up third in that position is very awkward. Like, you're just asking to have a really bad Faceless Void game, and you've already picked it into not the greatest Void game.
Yeah. But maybe they know that. I mean, I guess you're kind of stuck. Oh, no, because they've done off lane. I'm pretty sure Skylark has played core Dark Willow before as a 3. And I wonder if they would be willing to do like a Naga or something too, just out of general curiosity. But
I mean, this Void could potentially have the worst game of his life.
I can't wait to see him get terrorized every chrono that he does. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and there's still things like any sort of like a saving hero, even like an OD or something. And saving heroes have double value in this one because you're against Beastmaster as well. So just like having that super sweet save for a roar target is pretty nice.
Radiant team pick.
Oh!
The Watermelon Man.
Maxing Gush, Brax. Let's do it.
It's the future.
What?
Is it the future?
Max Gush with triple mangoes? Oh, it's so hard to lane against.
Yeah, but
that makes sense, I suppose.
Not
I guess you lose CS, but you're not really worried about it, I suppose.
You get CS by winning the lane.
Yeah, true. I guess that's right.
You can either be an alpha or a beta.
I am almost certainly a beta. That's it. I can't.
Well, I think beta are a fish, so I don't know.
Oh, they're also fighting fish, actually. Beta fish are the best fighting fish.
Wow. So I don't know what Tidehunter even wants to be.
You're definitely not alpha if you're picking Tidehunter.
Oh, man. So, who goes with him? Is it Witch Doctor that goes with him? Does Witch Doctor lane safe lane and then Dark Willow is like mid? Is it Tide Dark Willow? What the hell are the lanes right now?
Tide Dark Willow.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they both just can't die in this lane. They'll both just sit there, be super annoying to the Void, out CS him, harass him, and then eventually Void won't be able to lane this Tide.
I feel like EVOS have a very good understanding of the Crystal Maiden game. Because to me, I think she has some problems, like for pro matches. When I think about having a Crystal Maiden in the off lane, there's like 2 heroes that I want to be my support partner. I either want a Tusk or I want an Elder Titan. Because I feel like you need this position, like 5 in a sense, almost. Like you need someone else who can be like kind of itemless in the support role. You kind of want a melee hero who can actually beef up and go in the middle of the fights. And you need to have some sort of team fight element. And they have to be able to like play with a safe laner into safe lanes. There's not a lot of heroes that can do that. Like Earth Spirit is pretty dead, and he's really shit laning anyway. So to me, it's like basically just Tusk and ET that I want playing with my position 1 if I'm going to be this like CM off lane with someone else.
Yep.
And ET Void's obviously good for its own reasons.
She's like one of those heroes where she's strong, but she doesn't start the fights. You know? No. She's basically a snail. You know, she runs extremely slow into these team fights. She follows up with her spells. You can't really lead or else you just die. So yeah, you need something else to start the fight. And they have tons of initiation on EVOS, so it looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. Stomp, Roar, pretty important. Even Void Chrono could start fights for them, which is nice. The Stomp is
I like
good.
the Wraith King ban.
Oh no! Why?
This is not a mid visage. This is a safe lane visage? Question mark?
Yeah, safe lane.
Okay, I'm into it.
It's pretty common in C too.
What do you mean you're into it? What does that even mean?
Do you not like Visage?
No,
I think it's a fun hero.
It's like the most boring hero. Come on.
How's Visage boring?
Boring hero in the game.
Dude, watching Visage is sick because you just blow somebody, like they just die instantly in a team fight. And you're just like, that's fun.
Dude, you get bird plays. Why are you hating?
Yeah, he's hating hard.
They have like a Solar Crest buyer now too for early Roche. They're gonna control the Roche pit with Tidehunter and Dark Willow. It looks great.
So you're explaining why it's a good hero. I'm not saying it's not a good hero.
It's also kind of is it a TA counter in mid theoretically with birds at level 6? Maybe not early, but all right. You know what? We're just gonna stop this conversation right here and go move flying past that.
What's with the hate on Visage? They're set up for a 20-minute game right here.
Yeah,
is this a Lena pick right now for EVOS? Or I guess no, Lena sucks against TA. That's a pretty terrible matchup, right?
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. I was thinking the other way around.
So they need a hero that's not going to lose lane. They need something good in lane so they can actually...
Oh, see, this is a hero.
This is an exciting hero.
What are you talking about? Are you fucking crazy?
Extend the game with your ult, drag it out, make it slow. What a hero.
I have just deleted you from the game. Enjoy. I have pressed my R button. I have successfully taken you out of the fight, making this game stupid. It's just dumb.
It's not a... It's not a delete. It's a backspace now. It's not a hard delete anymore.
But you like this hero more than Visage. You're
Yes,
actually insane, okay? Why do I listen to anything you say, honestly?
Why do people still wear this Void headgear? It looks like a diaper. I hate this item. It's so bad.
Why don't you just message a Logic in game and ask him?
Dude, it's one of the first items ever put in the game. It has the worst textures other than the Penguin Courier. Look at this.
All right, I'm going to go buy that off the Steam market right now.
What if the artist is watching?
It's
the opposite direction. I'm going to go for EVOS, but my opinion doesn't really matter. So with that said, Shannon and Brax, why don't you guys take it away for game one?
Thank you so much, Mod. I really, really appreciate it. And you know what? Now that I can open up the scoreboard, I can finally mute every fucking player in this game. What? It doesn't work! I can still hear it! What is this? Wait, is it text or audio? Oh, maybe it's both. Okay. Tell me when they do it next time. Brax, joining me? How's it going? How are you, friend?
That's play to win, baby!
这波不亏，666。seconds to battle.
The game. It's pretty easy to tell who's going to win this kind of game.
Oh, did you know you could spray paint the Dota 2 logo? I don't think I've seen that spray paint. Do you see that in the bottom? I'll ping it. Can you see that? Oh, you can't see it in the fog now, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
I also used to walk over there.
So maybe it was there before.
I'll let you know next time I see it. Is the runes will be spawning. Looks like the bramble's going to be placed to keep Void at bay. He's going to time walk to safety. Did get the bounty rune for himself. Congratulations to him. Really love Dota and the bounty rune system. Don't you, Brax? You can't even tell if I'm being sarcastic.
You are being sarcastic. What's wrong with you?
I might not be sarcastic. I don't know. I actually don't even have an opinion, so I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I like them. You have something to fight for at level 1 now. Sometimes you see some cool plays where people, you know, they duke it out. They kill a hero for about 150 gold, and they realize, why did I do this? It's just not worth it.
Yep, that is true. That is true. What about the, do you like the 5-minute increments?
I think I do like it because Dota's in a weird place at the moment where, like, you can't end the game with first Roche, so you, like, sit around and hang out till the second Roche, and then in the meantime, you're just, like, collecting bounty runes. So, like, if you're winning, your entire goal is to just pick up bounty runes so you can extend your lead, or else you're not actually doing anything. No, I don't see it. Oh, I do see it. That's really cool.
All right, there you go. Yeah, what level do you have to be to get that spray paint?
I don't know.
That's the only good one.
I just got it on like level 115, so...
100 and... Oh, I should have it.
Or I don't know. I got it sometime.
Oh, okay, so that's a new addition. All right, excellent. I like that.
I can't wait to use it.
Wait, now the question is... The question is, if you've already picked a favorite, can you unfavorite it? Because in the past,
you can't.
You have not been able to do that.
There's a whole section where you can pick it and you can select none. Yeah,
beautiful.
My favorite team is Fnatic. I have the Fnatic TP.
Oh, now you're gonna have to get rid of it to get that Dota 2 logo. Bottom lane, Skylark's in a lot of trouble. He's gonna go down first blood. Go on the wave. Tioku Indrauta. That's a great name, by the way. I look forward to saying that name over and over.
Your pronunciation was phenomenal.
Thank you. I am very culturally aware. I'm great at pronouncing things.
Is that sarcastic? Are you being sarcastic? I
was waiting for you to say something about it. As mid lane, Necrophos actually died. What do you think of Necrophos versus TA, just in general, 1v1?
I feel like TA destroys this lane, like, really hard. Like, in the beginning, Necro can farm okay, but when TA gets, like, 4 and 5, it gets really hard for Necro. And Necro is one of those heroes where you need to last it, or else you can't sustain a lane. So, it could be a problem. But this hero is also so strong currently, just because of all the regen, and Death Pulse actually does damage in level 1 now. It's so much stronger early that this hero is amazing.
Bottom lane, we have Curse Crown being applied. Void has already used Time Walk, so gonna have to baby his way away. I don't know what that even means, but the Echo Stomp will be in place. Didn't really need it. But this moment, iLogic has 5 tangos left. And it looks like Witch Doctor died in the top lane. Illogic? Illogic?
Yeah.
Okay. Illogic. Got it. I will learn their names. Not by heart, though. I will just read them properly. Do you not think I have good pronunciation, Brax? Is that what you were trying to tell me earlier?
Your Elder Titan pronunciation was amazing.
Yeah, let me try it again. I'll probably pronounce it differently than reading it again. Tiaku Indra Uta. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Sounds good to me.
Skylark. Do you like that one?
That one was really good.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell me about Necro. Just, I mean, I haven't been able to watch that much Dota as of late, but is this hero actually being picked consistently now, or semi-consistently? Because last I checked, wasn't picked at all.
Right. He was in the dumpster for a long time, but he got some small buffs to his death pulse, and his talents are actually really good. 40 damage, attack speed, death pulse, heal, death pulse, cooldown. Usually he's not played mid. Usually he's played in the offlane, in a dual lane scenario, because it's really hard to kill. That's why I'm a bit curious to see him mid, but it does make sense. It's good at killing heroes like Tidehunter and Visage just by ulting them. The hero's really good, just might not be that good against TA in lane.
Oh, Frostbite up top. Cask is bouncing. Looks like Beastmaster wants to continue the pressure. The axes come out. I can't even see them on the map. Gracious me.
Oh my god.
They need to buff that hero apparently, but they will find the kill on Visage.
The CM
Beastmaster will be very
so
safe.
much damage.
Were you missing particles, or was that just me?
That was just you. Sometimes the Beastmaster axes are invis though. Like I've noticed it when I'm playing. Something recently broke it.
Illogic bottom lane. He's in a bit of trouble, but TP support in the form of the old Elder Titan is here. But this boy is taking a beating. Has 2 tangos left, running out of regen pretty quickly. Actually, they're going to continue the pressure. Tiako Indra Uta! Right-clicking, Boombastiel! We'll walk away to safety, though. I'm trying not to get too excited.
It's just Boombacks, isn't it?
What did I say?
Oh, I don't even know. It was bad.
Damn it. Ajit. I've always liked his name, though, I will say. It's like it's a cross between a sneeze and you saying shit. He's like, Ajit! You know? I always love that name. He's taking a little bit of a beating here, but does have refraction back up in a couple seconds with a couple mangoes to boot. And we'll be healing very nicely. 21 and 10 versus 15 and 5, so definitely the advantage there. Not to mention the kill that he got earlier.
Yep, and he actually has no points in his Ghost Shroud too, so he might die at level 6 if he doesn't have it, because TA is going to be 6 to Necro's 5. Like, TA just hit 6 and Necro's still 4.
Oh my. Yeah, Necro getting extremely low. Has to be careful with those side blades. Looks like he'll live for the time being. As Ajit, I mean, this is the one player I actually, other than like the Westerners, the one player I actually recognize the name of. So I assume he probably has the mechanical advantage in the mid lane. I could be wrong though, of course. Beastmaster in the top lane will be cast and slowed a bit as well. Maledict to follow. There comes a soul assumption. See how much he ticks down. Does have his bottle charges, so will live to see another day. Gets quite low though.
He does, but it's Shrine time, so no big deal. They're going to come back with full HP, full mana. And yeah, I do think IG is a bit better than Facehugger in the mid lane, just mechanically.
Oh, I didn't even realize his name was Facehugger. That's a great name. Man, SEA really has great names.
You know, he messed up with his name. He didn't know he was supposed to just like not put his tag in front, because it like does that for you. So his EVOS Facehugger. Just very passionate.
Yeah. I've seen that from time to time. People are just very excited about their sponsors and whatnot. Well, Boombacks, as you like to call him, is on his way to the mid lane. Gets off the Bramble. Ajit not feeling too comfortable going in. Gets one side blades off. Looks like the stun will be there, but again, the Elder Titan seems to be following every witch gank, forcing everybody back. Oh, and a regen though for Facehugger. That is quite nice. And Ajit is going to be pressured again, but refraction is popped. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana to speak of now, though. Looks like things are at a bit of a stalemate now in the mid lane. As Void does get a little bit of pressure alleviated as a result of these rotations in a 1v1 battle versus the Tidehunter now.
Yep, the net worth is only 1k in the favor of EVOS, but they have a late game scaling lineup, while Clutch Gaming, they're trying to they're trying to reach this point where they can just snowball and hit really hard. But for that, they need levels on Tidehunter. They actually need TA to have something useful as well. It needs more level. And of course, Visage 6 is where it all starts. I mean, he's actually, even though he did die once, his lane is perfectly fine. Like, he has 33 last hits. He's about to hit 6 pretty soon. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, and then the other side. Well, what is Visage looking at? Level 5 right now. Going for the fast medallion. How scary is this hero these days in terms of the mid-game potentials? You might have to wait on that. Comes another gank attempt. This time, Elder Titan is here being aggressive. The Echo Stomp will connect. Looks like the cask was used on the Beastmaster, but will live. TP support from Dark Willow now. And things will break up as a result of the rotation.
Yeah, Visage, he's one of these heroes where once you get 6, he becomes a whole new beast. The entire game changes. All of a sudden, this Beastmaster, Crystal Maiden. Honestly, Visage can solo these two heroes and do perfectly fine and push them off creep. So, yeah, I mean, they're gonna get that. Nobody can lane mid against the TA, just because she last hits everything and has traps everywhere. There's a sentry, but it's still dangerous to gank this TA, because if she has a trap, they 250 damage. So yeah, I mean, this is how it begins. The birds come out, all of a sudden this lane that you were trying to contest, you can't contest anymore. Visage went for a fast hood too, even before boosts, so he's super, super tanky.
Oh yeah, that's pretty dirty. And White Mon right now, is that his name? White Mon. Okay, just making sure. I don't want to say anything bad, although if it's about white people, I think I'm allowed to do that, considering I am white after all. He's level 5 right now. Facehugger in the meantime, level 7 versus the TA, who was jungling a bit, had a couple stacks of neutrals. Level 8 for Ajit. Top lane. Speaking of White Mon, looks like he will drop to the deck. And 3-2 advantage now for the Radiant. Clutch Gamers. Probably the favorites here, I would assume.
I really don't know.
Far, I actually have. I mean, I assume based on the fact that I recognize 2 players' names.
That's fair. That's fair.
Actually, Yol as well, I guess. 3 players.
You know,
on the same team.
I've watched a lot of FCA Dota with Mott, and I can't remember which of these teams was better in the past.
They all blend together. It's all good.
Yep. Becomes one big blur.
Facehugger rushing the Rod of Atos gives amazing stats. And I think they just buffed this somewhat recently as well, right? Can't remember what exactly was changed, though. We'll see once the actual
costs 100 less gold.
That's it? Okay, maybe not the hugest buff. That's when Ice Frog is saying, yeah, this item's actually good enough, just start buying it, guys. As Ravage is going to be used onto 2, Gush to follow, Crystal Maiden looks like it'll be the first to fall. If that's all they get, that is not a good exchange there for the ultimate. As Facehugger, though, he comes in from the side, gets off the Ghost Shroud, takes a Gush to the face, can completely surround him. Here comes the Chronosphere onto 2. Where's the follow-up damage? There is the Necro ult. That is going to be ridiculous regen for Facehugger now. Ajit will be the second to fall, and there's the Beastmaster Roar on top of Skylark. All right. So, EVOS.
So, obviously they died with 3 people, and that's not a good thing. But Chronosphere's down for 2 minutes. All right, this is go time. This is when you run up the bottom lane, take this tower. You have the siege creep still out too, so you have a chance to actually save those things. But it looks like there is no sense of urgency at all from the Dire. Like, everyone's just content with farming. Nobody's actually trying to make a play while this Chrono's down, which is, it's pretty strange. You know, usually that's like the big timing window that you have to make things happen.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So yeah, that's not good.
86 seconds on the deck for that Chronosphere. I mean, looking at the thing I look at with a lot of these teams these days is not stacking up too much on the really long cooldown ultimates. And you got Ravage obviously for Clutch, and then for EVOS, I guess you got Chrono. I don't think Necropos is really considered very long. Beastmaster's Roar is pretty low as well. So it's really just one major cooldown on each respective side.
Yeah, that is true. And then actually, we have Gabby on the Visage rotating bottom lane to push the tower. I really don't think you can defend this tower, but it looks like, yeah, boys just TPing out. They know this tower is dead. They're just going to try to stall as much as possible. But ET is fantastic for stalling these pushes, especially when you can't actually gank him in the back.
Now, well, as a result of this, the tier 1 tower will likely fall next, along with the Willow, as fortification is popped. I believe that was for the mid lane more than anything, as Facehugger is face-hugging this tower for the moment. Ajit has his treads, has his Aquila. Will likely... Do people go for Blink first or Deso?
On TA?
Yeah, or is it just interchangeable, like depending on what they actually
It's
feel?
interchangeable, depending on how good your game is. If you're absolutely free farming, people will usually rush the Deso just because it makes you farm faster. But, I don't know, he could die to this Athos.
Yeah, the Athos is there. Elder Titan ult to follow. Do they have vision? Doesn't look like it. They're just running away. Whitemon is there with the slowest movement speed in the game, other than Treant Protector, now that I think about it. Tiako Indra will be destroyed. And that'll be that. Only 1 kill, despite many ultimates being used. By many, I mean 2.
Rest in peace, Tiako.
Okay, after this... Well, I say after. The Athos is done. He's going for treads. What does Necro buy? Like Blink? Do you actually go Ags on this hero?
You do go Ags.
Oh, that's nice.
The cooldown so low. You can...
What is it, 20 seconds? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. When it's level 3, I think it's 20 seconds.
That's so disgusting.
But yeah, people die for longer once you ult them now. It's longer than before, so it's 45 seconds at max level.
Oh yeah, that's good. Echo Stomp onto 3, but of course they don't have a ton of fall, but there's a Chronosphere, and the Necro will take out the Tide Hunter. Looks like Dark Willow was going to be doing a decent amount of damage, but the Ghost Shroud keeping Necro very healthy. Dark Willow with that second ultimate of hers being used to full effect as everybody attempts to run away. Ajit does get a kill, but falls shortly after. It's a 2 for 1. The Void, the only casualty so far for EVOS, as Facehugger really wants 1 more kill before he falls. And looks like he'll get just that. Echo Stomp just a tad too late. So 2 for 3 in the end. I say in the end. Beastmaster just continuing. They take out 4 out of the 5. Visage the only survivor for Clutch. Better be careful. Of course, they still have Ravage. He died inside the Chronosphere. That's exactly what you want if you're EVOS.
Yeah, EVOS. They're bringing the fights to Clutch gamers every single time. This is fantastic. This is exactly what you want to do. When you have the team trying to reach late game, you can't just sit back and passively farm. Unless you make moves and the enemy is going to like... If you can bring the fight to their tower, that means that it's going to take them already to yours, right? Even if you happen to lose the fight or trade 3 for 3, then still people are going to respawn at like 20, 30 seconds at this stage of the game. You're going to be able to defend. It's very good play from them.
And this is all before Tidehunter even comes close to a Blink Dagger. We'll be going for, I assume, a mech coming up, or they could be a casual buckler, I suppose. As illogic. We will time walk to safety. But not being able to crack and shell the old Chronosphere is going to be... It's basically about who initiates first, right?
Yep, definitely.
Depending on how crucial those ultimates are going to be as this game progresses. Oh, Facehugger, this is my kind of build. He's going to be going for 4 stuff, and if he stays true to his heart, that Radiance. That is my kind of build, Brax.
It's just so good when you can actually get there. You know, the 4 staff is really smart because look at the initiation and how they want to start a fight. Oh, down bottom, actually, a logic. They found him in the trees, but...
Yeah. They see him. Brambles are used. The Bedlam as well. Dark Willow, pretty good hero for this. Time Walk's just a short distance. I assume... Oh, Echo Stomp onto 2. Time Walk is available again. Elder Titan's going to use his ult, and they will finish off the Witch Doctor. So somehow Illogic wins. It's almost illogical.
You got it. I got it. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That's when I give you a high five, but not today. He tanked Ravage, Dark Willow ultimate, stuck in the trees forever, and he lived. And they turned it around. It's completely like... when you do that, when you commit so heavily for a core hero and you just can't kill him, like you lose all your momentum. Now he's just going to sit there, push back the wave. That was so much wasted time from Clutch gamers. They are not on par.
Time Walk level 4 is pretty obnoxious though. What is it?
Yep.
6-second cooldown. And in terms of stuns, obviously they have a Ravage. If they can chain the birds, I mean, they got Bramble, they got Cat. They have decent options. But the fact that he was in the trees made it all the more difficult, obviously.
Yep. I just wanted to illustrate, like, how much easier it is for EVOS to take a fight. They have so many things that can like fish for initiation. Like you have the ET Spirit, the CM Slow from like 1,000 range away, Beastmaster Roar for that actual hard lockdown with Chronosphere, and on the side of Clutch Gamers, you have Ravage, which is pretty hard to use until you have Blink Dagger, because you're not going to be able to just walk onto, you know, walk in the middle of 5 heroes and use it. And then you have like Cask. It's not very reliable at all.
It can be though if you have good RNG.
It can, but stretch. It's difficult.
Oh, Skylark, he's trying to go in here. Doesn't have Ravage for another 40 seconds. Necro ult is there. That is enough to take him out. Chronosphere onto one on the sideline. Look at this canceled ult from Boombax. Not going to matter. They're going to get the Witch Doctor as well, as this is getting out of control in favor of EVOS. If they're diving past this tier 2 tower, they will get this at the very least. The tier 1 tower being pressured by Ajit, who now has the Blink Dagger. Facehugger, he's continuing. Looks like he uses Atos on the bird. They really want that little guy. Those things are pretty obnoxious, obviously, and they don't really... I guess they don't really have the greatest of spells for it. I think Frostbite's pretty good, I would assume. Can you cast the stone form while frostbitten?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Can or cannot?
Can, but I'm not.
Can.
I'm not positive. So that's my way of saying I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. I always ask the weird mechanics questions that nobody ever actually knows. And I pride myself in stumping the best of the best, Brax, on a consistent basis.
Well, Shannon, you got lucky on this one because with the change to roots, you know, you're not supposed to be able to, but it might not apply to the birds.
Right. Ajit's getting pretty close to finishing. Deso just needs another Mithril Hammer. Mithril Hammer. But yeah, you're right. The initiation for EVOS is pretty filthy. You got the single target Beastmaster Roar. You got obviously Chronosphere with all the follow-up damage, especially that Necro ult. Not to mention Echo Stomp, which is probably the most obnoxious thing on their team. Did they just smoke here?
Yep,
not sure
they
if
were
they actually
smoked. They placed the ward, then the Necro saw the ward place and just forced staffed away.
Oh boy, that's rough. Well, the tier 1 tower will be killed at the very least for Clutch.
Middle tower has fallen.
I feel like this game would be... I know it's easy to say now, but it would be totally different if there wasn't an Elder Titan. He just changes the way you play.
Yes, definitely.
Crazy hero.
You can't just run from tower to tower against Elder Titan. It takes so long, and he's so difficult to fight into. The nice thing, though, is they have an Atos on Visage, so they have a reliable way to start fights. Some sort of initiation that makes the enemy team react to them. And they have a lineup where if they get a couple kills and they snowball, Roche is going to die extremely fast, and they'll have this Aegis on TA, and they can keep rolling from there. But still, it's not easy, because EVOS, they're ready to fight. You know, they don't have BKBs or anything, but they can fight all the time.
So a failed smoke into another smoke for Clutch, but they're not going to find anybody. They will get a couple of the runes and end up trading off with EVOS, who have smoked themselves. Not sure if anything's going to come of this, at least not yet. And it looks like Gabby on the Visage also has an Atos to work with. And Force Staff is complete on Facehugger, as they're going to absolutely destroy that illusion.
You know what's funny?
Now he's working on his Radiance.
You never see Atos, and in this game we have 2 Atoses.
Yeah, it's weird. It is very, very weird, as Roshan is gonna go down pretty fast if Clutch doesn't get here in time. Skylark does have Ravage, but no Blink yet. No, they're actually gonna abandon here. Logic, he's gonna find Skylark. The question is, will he try for a solo Chrono? Nobody's even close on his team, so highly doubtful.
Yep, there's no damage at all. Man.
Force out the pipe, or I guess it's a hood.
So the lineup, the Dire lineup, heavily revolves around having Roshan, because they are trying to snowball and take towers and take fights. So they can extend it into even more with their lineup. But if EVOS somehow manage to take it away from them, it's going to halt their progression a lot. So they smoke up again. This is their 3rd smoke in a span of like 2.5 minutes. This
I
is
assume
every
they're
smoke.
out of smokes.
Yep.
This is what the game would look like if there were no cooldowns on smokes.
It'd be wonderful.
Would it?
I think, yeah, you just fight forever.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But you wouldn't even use it to fight all the time. You'd use it just to hide. You know?
Hide and do what?
Hide in the trees. They can scan you.
That sounds
Actually,
awful.
I have no idea. It does sound awful. It's a terrible strategy.
It is.
I remember when smokes were first introduced, I was like, my first impression was not positive. I will admit, was not a fan.
You know,
But
change
they've
is
grown
hard
on it.
for everyone.
Yeah. Same with Scan. I had a similar idea about Scan as well. Just feels like a very StarCrafty, especially the name. Why not? Why not reveal or just something more
It's true.
Dota? You know.
Scan is very StarCrafty, but you know, Scan's subtle. Unlike Smoke.
Oh, Terrorize is coming out, but the Aegis is claimed by Necrophos. So EVOS are very happy with that trade. And Ajit does have the Desolator, by the way. So ready to try to blow some people up. Skylark also has the Blink, so they will have initiation possibilities. They're only down 4k. It's not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination.
No, definitely not. But it was so important for Ajit on TA to get the Aegis because there are disables that go through BKB in this game that he could never itemize for. Roar and the Chronosphere. Like, he can get BKB and Lincolns against Roar, but it's definitely not ideal. It's not what he wants to aim for in this game. It's more of like, oh, I have to get this or else we're going to lose. So, yeah, without the Aegis, you can't really play against the Chrono. Like, unless you kill Roar like they're doing now.
Oh, the Blink Ravage in the bot lane. Illogic does time-lapse, or time-lapse, it's not Weaver, if only. Gets the Chronosphere off, time walks again, and will TP out to safety. So a Chrono for a Ravage, not the worst thing in the world, but obviously the kill would have been what Clutch really wanted. And a heavy commitment as far as numbers.
Yep, super, super heavy commitment. When you use that many heroes and you don't get a kill, that's when the, you know, enemy team's kind of just laughing.
You know, Brax, I'm going to have to correct you.
Uh-oh.
You said you can't itemize for these ultimates. First and foremost, on TA, you can get a Ghost Scepter for Chronosphere, okay?
Okay.
Have you never seen that before?
I have. Like once in like 1,000 games, yeah.
How did it work?
It didn't work
out
well. It saved them for
Damn
like
it.
3 seconds, but it just doesn't work with how the hero wants to play the game.
That's too bad.
It's like a playing to not lose item rather than playing to win.
Yeah, never a fan of that. Alright, well, looks like EVOS wants to push. Facehugger in the front line with that Aegis. The blinking by Scholar, of course, no Ravage to work with. Cask is actually
Nice
really good on
Cask.
top of the Brambles, but no follow-up. At least not yet. They know Chrono's down, they know Ravage is down. Both teams fully aware of this. And BKB is being worked on by both Ajit and Illogic. Illogic's actually somewhat close to finishing it. And that'll help quite a bit, obviously, considering they don't have like a Beastmaster Roar or anything like that to counteract it. Well, tier 2 at about half HP right now.
Yep. The push from EVOS is really slow because they don't want to overcommit into these heroes and lose, but they are keeping Clutch Gamers grouped as 5. Meaning they're not scaling, they're not getting to those key items like the BKB on TA or anything like that, so they're doing a lot. It's good. And now they do this, and then they collect 4 bounty runes, so they're winning.
Oh boy. That's a lot of gold. And it looks like... Is it Avil? So his sponsor is Nemo TV.
Okay,
His
just
name is
him?
Avil, I guess. I mean, that's how sponsorships go. They ask for specific players. It's not usually a full team, unless it's a major sponsorship. Just so you know, Brax, that's how it works.
Okay, keeping me up to date. I know it's been a while for me.
Oh no, Shagbark was destroyed by Facehugger. He actually has enough for his Sacred Relic, but we'll see if he ends up purchasing that or holding on to the actual gold. Oh. A lot of damage actually be done to Dark Willow, despite not being targetable. Facehugger not really wanting to even bother using that ult. They'll find that kill quite easily. Illogic, he's following Ajit. If he gets one more, he could find this kill. Ajit's going to start out with a couple right clicks. But Mask of Madness was popped by Illogic, so can't cast spells anyway. Skylark,
Just toying with them.
pretty close by. As the birds continue the pressure on the Crystal Maiden, who gets strewn. No longer the slowest hero in the game. Yol looks like he will be the first casualty here, but Skylark with a big Ravage onto several heroes. That is 1 kill right after that, and that is on the Void. Very important. But the Roar to follow onto TA, and the Elder Titan ult will absolutely destroy them. Necro ult as well. It's a 2 for 2. Skylark down with absolutely no mana. Will attempt to run away. Beautiful ult. Terrorize use on a couple heroes. As Bramble to follow. What an annoying fucking hero. Skylark jumps in a nice anchor smash as well. And Facehugger, all the while, still holding on to that Aegis. Skylark will fall. And Gabby getting quite low. As the slows will continue from the dead TA. And finally, Dark Willow drops to the deck as well. So it's a 4 for 3. As Gabby again will live. Aegis still intact. As I say that, is now taken for Roshan's bowels.
Wow. What a fight. They actually managed to ravage and kill the Void before he did anything in the fight, and they still lost.
Yeah, that's like best case scenario.
Yep.
Getting that Void immediately. How did they kill him so fast?
They just blink ravaged him, and Visage was there with damage for once. Oh, man.
I mean, he does have BKB now. That wouldn't have helped him there, though. I don't think you're going to get... I assume you're not that quick with your fingers. You never know, though.
That's true. You never know. There's a lot of factors that come into play. If you see the Tide Hunter...
Yeah.
Yep. Those are banned.
A macro for your BKB? That doesn't even make sense.
There are macros for that.
What? What do you mean?
There are.
How does a macro help with BKB?
But not macros, but there are scripts for that.
Oh, scripts. Yeah, that's totally different. That's
when you get blinked on? Sorry.
When the enemy is in 100 range of me, pop BKB.
Yeah.
Alright. Dark Willow gets off the Shadow Realm, and he just dies. Wow.
Radiance is online.
Yes, it is.
So that was a fight where Necro didn't have a Radiance, and now he does. So he's a whole Radiance strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Oh, Chronosphere only onto 1. Skylark is muted right now. The Elder Titan ult will come into effect, and TA dies immediately. Does have buyback onto Ajit. Gabby's continuing to do a lot of damage from the high ground. Logic gets a bash. These birds are getting 2 3-man stuns, so really well played from Gabby. Barely takes any damage from that Necro ult, but will die regardless. And that is a dead Dark Willow again. And with only Tide Hunter living through this engagement, you have to think this is the beginning of the end of game 1 of this best of 3. Ajit is going to follow in with that beautiful Ravage by Skylark. They will get the Void. Can they get more? The Crystal Maiden's next on the list. Skylark attempting to run away, but way too much damage coming his way as the buyback really working out for Ajit so far. But can he finish these heroes off? Looks like Facehugger will die. So a great defense here from Clutch Gamers as they will find one more kill for themselves. Hey, they kept their buildings alive. And Ajit gets a shit ton of gold.
Yeah, tons of buybacks coming out. Or just 2, right? The TA and Witch Doctor, looks like. But yeah, that's all it takes. The games are so difficult to end, but now, without buybacks, if they do happen to die, if you get Reapered on TA after you've already bought back, your respawn time's like 3 minutes.
Yep.
It's insane.
And I would say it's pretty likely this is going to happen because we have... I mean, all you need is the Shadowblade Roar and 1 follow-up, and that's a dead TA.
Yep, agreed. It's very easy for them to open up on this TA, even with her BKB. Like, it only looks so good then because all the spells were on cooldown after the previous fight.
Mm-hmm. I know that you were talking about how you don't want to play to not... Or play to lose versus playing to win. Or, sorry, play to hold on, right, as a defense thing, where Ajit... Is there any way that Lincoln's is a good item this game for him?
I don't think he can afford to go for a Lincoln's this game at all. I think the only way
to stick with his team then, right?
Yeah, he needs to like sit back and wait for these spells and then jump in afterwards. Like he can play off the Ravage and then try to burst someone through that and kind of reset and wait for the Roar. But the best way to do that is just either build damage or go for like an Orchid Nullifier style build so you can be the one that starts the fights like that. Yeah, it's not easy at all. It's very difficult.
I mean, so far this game, they have not really been the aggressors. It has definitely been EVOS for the most part. What are your thoughts on... I'm pretty sure we've talked about this at some point. We've seen a lot of this game is the faking of Terrorize. Do you like that?
No. If you're a carry and someone's faking Terrorize, you're pretty much just pressing your BKB.
Yeah.
It comes real quick.
But the hero isn't OP. Is that the problem? Like, if this hero ever becomes, or is ever considered completely overpowered, that's probably one of the first things they quote-unquote nerf, right?
I agree. Yep. That's one of those things in the game that's like a feature. You know, it's not necessarily a bug, but it feels like it shouldn't be in the game.
It's one of those things that is a bug. They just never bothered fixing it because it's not OP. It's just like Centaur Return on Illusions. That was in the game for years. People started finally abusing it, and then they, instead of saying nerfed it, they fixed a bug. Apparently, it was a bug. Oh, Necrophos doesn't have BKB or anything. He's actually taking a ton of damage. Looks like he will drop very quickly. They didn't have to expend pretty much anything. I mean, Bedlam is super low cooldown. That was a big buff for her somewhat recently. As Aurora is actually used by Avil, but it looks like they will find this kill eventually. So 2 great kills for Clutch, and they're ping on Roshan. That would be a big pickup if they're able to get it.
Yeah, well, this is the comeback right here. Look at the gold swing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Pretty much have an even game. TA is gigantic now. She almost has a full Daedalus. With Aegis and a Daedalus picked up, they definitely have a good chance in this game. That's all it takes.
Basically, it was that one buyback from Ajit, getting those multiple kills, and then just finding these 2 pickoffs right now into a potential Roche. They do have Chronosphere.
Pick off a big core hero like that at this stage of the game, it's so rewarding. You get a ridiculous amount of gold.
Ajit, he actually used his Blink Dagger. I think that was to dodge the Echo Stomp. Illogic. Oh, he gets the Chronosphere up, but Ajit does get the Aegis. Terrorizes youth and little to no effect because they are chronoed. Yol in the meantime getting off his Death Ward. Doesn't channel for very long. And the chase will continue. It looks like Illogic will be able to time walk to safety if he needs to, as the death finally comes for Elder Titan to that Maledict. So Clutch coming in pretty clutch, actually. Ajit able to quickly... I mean, that was a really fast chrono, I have to say. After the Roche kill. That was almost picture perfect, but still wasn't enough.
Yep, it was a tiny bit too slow. They didn't see the Roche health until it was already too late. Like, if they would have gotten vision of the Roshan, like, maybe a second ahead of time, they probably could have timed that perfectly, where the Earth Splitter comes on over the top, but ended up getting stunned by the Dark Willow, Cursed Crown, and... yeah, I mean, I feel like Clutch got super lucky with that fight. It could have gone very poorly when they lost the Aegis.
And the cheese is online for Gabby on the Visage. I mean, that is a hero you will not be able to kill, basically. Very, very difficult. Echo Stomp coming in very shortly. But the tower is taken. They know Chronosphere is down for the 40 seconds. They do force out a fortification for this tier 3 top. And Boombacks, he actually can buy a Blink Dagger if he wants. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I assume he's just been buying all the wards, but Dark Willow does farm pretty fast. Although Yol... yeah, Yol's way more farmed.
Yeah, this guy hasn't been buying wards. He has Glimmer and almost a Spirit Vessel.
Oh, Illogic. He wants this rune. Is it worth? Looks like Skylark will take it.
Time is money. This'll come in handy.
And they'll end up just trading. But that is a silver edge. So Skylark does need to keep that in the back of his mind now for the rest of the game.
Yep. The silver edge. It's a huge Visage count.
It's difficult though, right?
It is difficult.
Oh, that's true.
But it's, I think it's mainly for the Visage rather than the Tide. Like, it's nice against Tide, but once you break the passive on Visage, the hero just melts.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's difficult to get that off though, because...
yeah, it is.
I mean, you can tell me what's more realistic. I feel like for Void, you typically get the Shadow Blade, and you time walk out of the Shadow Blade a lot of the time to Chrono.
Yep. Well, that is definitely the easiest way to use it. He might just try to Chrono without using the Shadow Blade, and then hit him inside the Chrono with it.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yep, Terrorize used. Facehugger is dead again. That Radiant's not doing a whole lot for him right now. Oh, they actually chronoed for the birds.
Oh.
What happened? And it's down for... oh, he just popped it again, though. Can he not... you can pop it while it's stunned, right?
Yeah, you can.
He gave them all up? What do you think about that, chronoing birds?
I missed the beginning of it. I assumed he was trying to chrono a hero, and the hero TP like went through, and he happened to catch the birds there.
Maybe.
Definitely not worth when your Necro just died, because now you have no Necro and no chrono. Necro has no buyback, too.
If he had Ags, it would be worth, though, right?
Sure. Yeah, if he had Ags, it'd be worth, but he doesn't.
Good.
That's just, the Ags are just so good.
Ags on everybody is so good.
Yep, Visage has an Ags. He's got 3 birds now.
Looking forward to the TA Ags being picked up here shortly.
Yep.
As the tier 3 is being completely decimated. Solar Crest applied to Ajit now. Very difficult to kill. Look for Aurora to come out pretty shortly. But again, like you said, no Chronosphere, so the follow-up will not be great. Of course, Ajit still has that Aegis intact. It's going to be a tough defense, but of course they do have Elder Titan, the master of high ground defense. The birds will survive. If they can get these birds, that's a pretty big deal, because they are down for another 60 seconds.
Yep, the birds just stomped in Nova.
Oh, and Logic jumps in with that BKB. Zoning Ravage is used. Elder Titan ult onto 2 heroes. Looks like they will be able to get Ajit. It's going to be close, but the Aegis is still there. A beautiful terrorize, and my lord, that damage. Crystal Maiden completely drops to the side blades. Beastmaster's next. They're going to have to buy back in full succession here. Ajit does use the Aegis, and we'll back up to safety. The cheese looks like it was used as well. I assume it was used by Gabby since he was holding it earlier.
Yeah, I think he used it. Alright, well, you can just see the level of discipline, right? When clutch gamers go high ground, they know buybacks are coming out, and they're not diving. They're not going ridiculously crazy, even though Chrono's still on cooldown. They play it safe, they take the tower, they bait out a buyback, and they just bring it right back. TA has 5,000 gold to spend. If this is just 4K as well, they have a ton of gold in the bank at the moment.
It's not often you see a buyback completely turn the tide of the game. I mean, maybe if there's like a Spectre or a hero that can TA buyback against, what was it, 3 heroes earlier in that top lane? I feel like that just completely changed the game.
I completely agree. Like, they had no business winning any sort of team fight unless there was some sort of base dive into a buyback play coming out. And, I mean, TA is a network leader. She's about to have a nullifier, so now you can actually deal with Faceless Void. You can burst them that way. It also removes the Ghost Shroud on Necro and the Aeon Disc if you wait for it to pop. So they just have so many more tools to work with in these fights now. Like, we were talking about lack of catch, but they've built items around it, and now it looks much better.
Oh boy. Illogic uses Shadow Blade. Looks like he's gonna just BKB TP. We'll do so successfully. And same with the Elder Titan. So if you use Nullifier, you said on Aeon Disc, it has to be after it's popped?
Yes, when it's active, that's when you use it.
So you use it, so instead of 2 seconds of invulnerability, is it 2 seconds?
Yep.
It's like 1.5 if you can do it pretty fast. Because there's a projectile on...
Yep, there's a projectile. Ideally, you can blink next to him and use it, but it's difficult. But yeah, it just makes the item a bit weaker. And it also counters the Ghost Shroud because it just purges it instantly.
Interesting. Is this an item that you're a fan of, just in general?
Yeah, I think it's very good. It's like, yeah, this item, it changes the dynamic of late game. Like, you get jumped on these heroes that you think are safe, and then all of a sudden you can't do anything. It just shuts you down entirely.
Wait, what item are we talking about?
Nullifier. Are you talking about Aeon Disc?
No, I'm talking about Aeon Disc.
Okay.
Because I hate it. I hate Aeon. I like Nullifier. I hate Aeon Disc.
Why do you hate it?
Because it's like a get out of jail for... Okay, this is my problem with it. And if they can balance it around this, then I'd be fine with it. I like... The idea of it is fine that, you know, these squishy heroes can get something that lets them survive for like 2 seconds. But I don't like these games that, like, 1 hour in, half of each team has an Aeon Disc.
Yeah, it's very common.
It makes it so hard and it's so boring, you know? I feel like something needs to be done about that, but I don't know how you balance towards just that specific scenario, you know?
Yeah, I don't either. That's when you implement the old Dota 1 rule where you can only have X amount of items on your team. The gentleman's agreement.
What was it? It's like 2 hexes, 1 or 2 necros. 2
necros or something.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That just shows you how good necros were back then, and sheep. That's great. Oh, the days we're gonna have to hold that thought. Oh, beautiful Ravage is used onto the Void. He's not able to get off the Chronosphere as of yet. He will die 85 seconds, and that means the retreat needs to come immediately for EVOS. The Aeon Disc does activate, but Necro still dies shortly after. That Ravage, that was partial luck. He did not see Void. You
know, Dota, sometimes luck plays a factor, right? There's a lot of skill involved. But there are some RNG elements and just lucky things, right? Void died without doing anything. Tide just refreshed, by the way, so they might not see that in Fog. But he also has no mana after he refreshed. What's he gonna do there?
He'll find it, don't worry.
Alright, he's regenning.
Somebody has mana boots. Do they?
He's got clarity.
Oh, he just mana pot, okay. And now he's going to be buying a 42-minute arcane boots.
Yep, got to get that mana pool up. Nicely done.
And looks like they'll just go for the safe play. Roche with Refresher Shard. Skylark is probably regretting using his Refresher now.
Yep. I completely
But I assume
agree.
he will have another one to work with here. Is there any way you give to somebody else the Refresher Shard?
I don't think
The birds?
Maybe TA
If they die
for double
twice?
BKB. That's about it though. But triple Ravage,
Skylark
how
would
can you
take
pass that up, honestly? Is it triple or is it 4 Ravages? Quadruple.
What? How would it be quadruple?
You blink Ravage, refresh Ravage, then you use the Refresher Shard to refresh your Refresher Orb.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't Refresher. That would be so OP. Oh man.
Have you ever seen a game go on long enough to where there's multiple Refresher Shards?
No, because people, they're so antsy to use them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta use... Well, plus, and it's not just like a... It's not a negative thing necessarily, because you want to get a slot open. Because sometimes, like, I really need this slot for an item. A lot of wasted gold, but... I mean, it is Refresher Shard, so... That would be hilarious. I mean, back in the day, Tinker used to buy Manta style. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, he'd Manta, Sentimental in, and refresh the Manta.
Yeah, and it wouldn't kill the illusions,
awful.
right? Yeah, that was... God, so many of these, like, really old mechanics that back then... I mean, even if you thought it was powerful, looking back now, you're like, that was so stupid. You know? Just so stupid.
I think it did kill the illusions, didn't it?
I don't think so, or else it wouldn't have been good.
It wasn't good, but people did it anyways.
No, I remember it was good for a time. Very short time, Brax. Okay?
Alright.
You know what was really good is farming a Divine Rapier for your Clinks and then giving it to him.
I remember that. You pull him the Rapier.
And him buying 3 Aegises.
Yep, and then he goes back to what ends the game.
Oh, Roar is used, but they have the dust, so the Shadow Blade will be to no avail. I'm actually surprised that he used Roar. Because he's going to end up buying back here and not having it for a while.
Yeah, it's a good point. He's going to buy back with no Roar available for like 30 seconds, probably. He was hoping he could live, just because it gives you move speed, but yeah. Pretty big waste there.
Now, Skylark.
This game shifted so quickly, just off that one buyback play up top, but it's still Elder Titan, and the game's not easy to end.
Yeah. 15k network lead here for Clutch. Triple Ravage is going to be online in 5 seconds. There's the buyback. They know Roar is down from their 25 seconds. Crimson Guard on buildings. Oh. Nice usage of Heaven's Halberd.
Or waste the glyph as they're backing out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But they will back. They see Illogic in the top lane. Looks like this... Oh, he actually will not get the tower. There's no siege. Alright, answer me this. Do you deny this tower? I assume no.
No, you don't.
Okay. Oh, Chronosphere. The game is at the point where he has to use it on Dark Lord to get something out of it. Beastmaster dies, though, in the pit. Ravage being faked by Skylark. Oh, he's going to use it. Face Hugger. His TP has been canceled. He used his actual refresher orb. Eon disactivated, but this is going to be another death for Facehugger. Does have buyback, but Beastmaster does not, and they know it. Illogic should be able to get the tier 3 at the very least. See if he can force anybody back. He gets relatively close, so we'll pop the butterfly.
He's setting up on him for a game.
If he can get the nullifier off, this will be pretty big, but that will actually be a little bit difficult. Okay, never mind. Blink gets it off, slowing him as a result. Not going to be enough to actually kill him, though. And the time walk gets him to it. Yeah, I thought he did a lot more damage than that. Looks like the range rack will go down. In the meantime, middle lane for Clutch. They're going to apply a little pressure to this melee. They don't have Ajit with them. We'll see how much damage they actually do to the buildings. With Gabby there, that is more than enough. There's a TP out from Void. So it'll be a range for melee. Obviously not a great trade, but still better than you would expect, considering how this game has been flip-flopped.
Yep, I agree, but it's not done yet, right? They can go for bottom lane too. The birds do a stupid amount of damage to these towers.
Oh, Necrophos does have buyback, but choosing to hold on to it for the time being.
There's still 2 Ravages. Like, TA's just gonna walk down bottom lane and they can fight again if they want to.
Yeah. I mean, the game's gonna go longer. He's gonna get 3 again. Another couple minutes.
They could wait for it if they really want to.
Not sure that's necessary. 20k lead. Obviously, they don't know exactly what their lead is, but they got to feel pretty good about themselves. And it's interesting to see that the Void was the one kind of split pushing top, as opposed to like a Beastmaster.
Yeah, that's true. Usually Beastmaster's the safer hero in that position because if you lose him, it's a bit more disposable compared to the Faceless Void.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
EVOS smoking out of their base. They know that if they just sit back and wait for this 3rd Ravage to come up, they're probably just going to lose the game anyways. So they're moving out. They see TA pushing out the top lane. This is a huge pickup if they can actually get it. They have Chronosphere, but where's the G going to go?
Oh, they see the blink potentially. Roar is available. Comes out. They don't even need Chronosphere. He is dead. Does have buyback, but down for 2 minutes if he's not going to use it. All right. Roshan's going to be... Oh, he may spawn in 2 minutes. That's the earliest.
Void actually went for the Chronosphere AoE. You know, this talent, it's one of those that can backfire quite often. Especially when you have like these heroes that aren't like the longest range, like Necro. You know, you might try to run an ult summon Chrono and just get caught by himself. Or he won't be able to hit someone in the Chrono. Usually you see the backtrack so you can't get bursted. Especially because he's already so tanky, this hero. If you can survive that initial jump and get your time walk on, nothing can kill you. But prioritizing the big Chrono, maybe it's good.
You know, Skylark being hounded by this Astral Spirit does have 3 Ravages to use. And if he gets 1 off, expect the immediate buyback from Ajit. Oh, Chronosphere onto 2. He's going to try to go for the Tidehunter. Gets the break off. That's going to be a much easier kill. Gem drop to the deck, but the buyback immediately. We'll see if EVOS wants to back up or not. Skylark does get off 1 Ravage. Looks like the second is coming soon. Doesn't even need to use it. They will find the kill on both Necrophos and the Void and Elder Titan. That is 3 quick kills. And all they needed was 1 Ravage again. Oh, no. Sorry, he did use 2. He used the Shard.
He used the Shard, but he didn't use the actual Ravage.
Yeah. Oh. It was... Wait, what do you mean? Oh, I see. Yeah, so he has 2 right now. Yeah, okay.
Alright, well, all 3 of these heroes have buybacks, so maybe now it's time for Clutch Gamers to bait themselves into a team fight that they lose inside of EVOS' base. That's how the game goes in late game, honestly. It's just buybacks versus buybacks, because if you manage to kill them with buybacks, you're actually going to net more gold. Buyback is such a double-edged sword. It's good and bad for the game in so many ways. Yeah. Very hard to balance around. 2 buybacks expended. There's the Atos, Facehugger. Getting closer. Oh, there's the Ravage number 1. Doesn't need the second one. That's a dieback. Here comes Void. He jumps in. Doesn't have Chronosphere for another 40 seconds or so. Another Ravage to follow. Onto 3. Terrorize to follow. They're back in the fountain. Bramble Maze. And that might be the end of Game 1 as Clutch Gamers have the advantage. 4v2 should be able to take out these buildings as Ajit just deletes Crystal Maiden. Oh, I didn't see GG was called because I muted everybody. GG! It's crazy to see like the how the line was progressed, right? You would think that the Faceless Void is better late game, but then all of a sudden you're playing against this Tidehunter with Refresher and Refresher Shard, and then they actually have ways to initiate. Like Visage has Hex. TA is Blink, Nullifier, Orchid. Like all of a sudden they have the better initiation. It's just crazy because you imagine
Dire team ban.
It's the good Nicolas Cage and John Travolta movies.
Dude, how do you call that movie good? It is awful.
What are you kidding? Are you kidding? People love that movie.
I love it.
First time you watched it. When's the first time you watched it?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
That's your problem. When it came out, that movie was mega hype.
Yes.
Mega hype. I haven't seen it recently, but I can see how it has aged horrendously.
Oh, no, but it's like, it's one of those, it's so bad. That's why it's incredible. I love rewatching it. There are so many lines that are just unbelievably good.
When you think about the actual plot of Face Off, and you're just like, you can see why people have the reaction to it now that they have. Brax, have you ever heard of Face Off, a John Woo movie?
Oh,
you need
so
to watch
good.
it.
So it's a movie where Nicolas Cage and John Travolta swap their faces to the other person.
Whoa, you're not doing it just here. Let me give you a brief synopsis here.
Why don't you go for it, buddy?
Nicolas Cage, also known as, what is it?
I don't.
Castor Troy. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
He is he's an evil criminal who murdered John Travolta's son. Oh my God. He didn't mean to, supposedly. But anyway, so John Travolta, of course, as this federal agent, he's an FBI agent, if I'm not mistaken, has a personal vendetta and lifelong goal, basically, of now capturing Nicolas Cage. And so finally, he catches him in the middle of this plot, but Nicolas Cage is like knocked into a coma because he was flying into this fan thing. And so they need to find where the bomb is that Nicolas Cage put down before he went in the coma. And the only way is to get it out of Nicolas Cage's brother. And in order to get to his brother, John Travolta has to put on Nicolas Cage's face with new technology. And they change his voice. And so then he has to like convince the brother to tell him where the bomb is. Oh, it's so good. But then, you know, things don't go perfectly according to plan. And that's what Face Off becomes.
Just think about Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, and I think John Malkovich is in the movie too at some point. And think of them at their best, essentially.
Oh, it really is. I mean, we're talking about Face Off, Con Air, and The Rock. Those are amazing.
All right, now Con Air.
Oh my God,
Con Air.
Talk about a movie that's so bad that it's good.
What? Con Air is bad?
No, Con Air is just good.
Nicolas Cage's action in that movie alone is just ridiculous. I do like. There are so many ridiculous plots going on. The Buscemi plot line.
Buscemi's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty great in that movie, but it's just so weird. It's just such a weird movie. God.
Just all right. The moral of the story is go watch Human Centipede 2.
Yeah, perfect.
Watch Face Off or Con Air before you watch either of those. Anyways.
Now, I will say, Mr. Boombox here, or
Boombax,
he was one of the only players playing Crystal Maiden, like, 2 years ago. When it was, like, only PPD basically playing the hero, and that was kind of it around that era. Boombox was all about it. Big CM player. I don't know if he'll be able to get it these days, or if it'll be handed off to someone else based on who's going to be playing the lane with Skylark, but I am in. Big fan. I assume it'll be Boombox, right? He'll be playing, like, the 4.
I would assume.
But I like it with Magnus, though. I think that's a pretty neat combo. Very spammy dual offlane. Kind of helps protect the Magnus, help him get experience.
I was surprised. I know you guys talked about how good Crystal Nova was, but then she got that level 2 point, and the amount of damage she was dishing out was kind of insane at that laning phase. Level 2 CM Nova. Pretty strong.
5 seconds.
It's so strong that it only goes up 40 damage each level, and it's still strong.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely a good sign for the hero.
I actually want to see more CM now. I'm sad Undying is getting banned a lot. I think that hero in dual off lanes with any hero is super strong right now, and Mirana Undying is a favorite lane of mine to do currently, and it's pretty good. So I can see why it's first ban material. I don't know. I guess he doesn't have as many problems with like transitioning to the mid game as he used to have too. So yeah, better as hero.
He just has something to work towards now. You're just like you're looking at that level 15 talent. Like guys, I'm coming. You know, I'm gonna be good again.
I'm gonna get there.
It's past 7 minutes, but I will be great again. Pretty much it.
It's so.
That hero's fun to play.
It used to be so bad. Just like you do okay in the early game, you get a couple of kills and you feel really strong, and then I don't know, your team never fights or something, or you do fight and you just fall off and it's miserable.
5 seconds remaining.
Does anybody play Pango in this region?
I think a lot of players do, yeah.
I think Skylark played it once in this MPGL.
Let me...
Entire group stage.
Did it go well?
I think they lost.
Probably. I don't know. In terms of like Pangolier, there's been very few picks that I can remember in this specific tournament. And in fact, I can tell you how often it is picked and or banned in this particular instance. And that is, it was picked 5 times with an 80% win rate.
Stats don't lie.
No.
That shit.
Get the Pango.
Well, nobody. The teams that picked it were all not. They're all not in the tournament anymore. So
No.
Unfortunate. I'm sorry to say.
Mod, I think you're gonna lose your Undying here potentially. I think that's the ban.
Well, he's already banned. First ban.
He's first banned, Mod. So he's for some reason I thought he wasn't banned yet this draft. But okay, fair enough. Saw the PL ban and got all excited thinking EVOS were gonna go for it.
I can't be let down again though. You were like setting me up to be let down, but instead I was already let down from the beginning of the draft.
Mod, what's your favorite hero to watch these days?
Probably Pangolier, just because I think it's a fun hero to watch. Like,
wow.
Honestly, I think watching Brax's stream has really made me into. And you don't even play Pangolier that much anymore, do you, Brax? But it seems fun.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's fun, but I can't win with it.
10 seconds remaining.
Why is that?
Because the hero's not that good.
Okay, well, thanks for that generic answer.
He's kind of transitioned into more of an aura hero too, which I think is just naturally worse in pubs compared to pro games.
Right.
Because like the coordination gives you so much more.
Man, you don't build javelins or anything like that anymore, I guess. I mean, I guess you can, but that's sad. I like that hero a lot.
That's all I build is javelins.
I know. I
don't even buy boots.
Look at my win rate. My win rate is really bad with this hero.
Yeah, but you have fun, so that's all that matters, buddy.
My Pudge has a 45% win rate.
How many games?
251.
Wow,
I'm really bad at Pudge.
That's 250
like
whatever
really
games
bad.
of fun.
That's true. Pangolier,
like
exactly 50% win rate, 62 games.
That's pretty good.
Got him.
Considering the hero is not good, and I build horrendously. Not
in terms of fun heroes to watch lately. I was actually gonna say Clockwork, so I'm excited. I like Clockwork.
Yeah, I'm into him for sure.
You guys like Clockwork?
Yeah, off lane support. He's kind of fun. You know, hook shots, big plays, sniping people with rocket.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
What?
This is evidence. Like, if nobody knew anybody's backgrounds, it would be very obvious that we know that neither of you played Han, because it's not possible to like Clockwork in Dota right now.
Why?
Not possible. Because his animations are fucking horrendous. Horrendous.
Dude, when he pulls out the hook, he like pulls out of his back pocket first. He like sets his footing, you know, squares up, then fires it, and he still misses like half the time.
He feels so clunky. It's almost like there's you know when you play PUBG and it's just constant netcode issues, like everything feels slow and horrendous. That's how only Clockwork feels.
Well, he's a robot. He's supposed to feel that way, right?
Yeah, he's dancing. He's like do. You know, he's doing the robot.
Exactly.
I thought he was a person covered in robot armor.
I think he is Keen. I think he is a Keen.
Yeah, he's a person.
Me and Jenkins went on a lore trip throughout the MPGL tournament trying to figure out who was what. And Clockwork is in fact a Keen. Keen are the small folk who usually.
So he's a hobbit.
Yeah, exactly. But
Name
they're
another
like they're
Keen.
like
Is there another one in the game?
Okay, so it's Clockwork, Tinker, Sniper, Gyrocopter, Techies, Timbersaw, Alchemist, Kunkka. Kunkka is the weird one, but most of them use Kunkka's not one. Actually, that's wrong. But most of them use some sort of weaponry or technology in order to better themselves in terms of fighting, because they can't rely on their size and stature to be effective in fights. So that's why Timbersaw is like, he's got a giant mech armor. You know, Tinker has all this stuff that he works with, and all these heroes are like the same way for that reason. So
I've been watching a lot of Bristleback games lately, trying to figure out if this hero's legit or not. Trying to see, you know, if people can make him work. Brax, I saw you were playing Bristle the other night. I don't remember if it went well for you though. I feel like you lost.
It was amazing.
Yeah, didn't you? Oh, you didn't go Vanguard first, right? You went like Hood or something instead.
I went Blade Mail Heart Radiance, and I was against
that's what it was. The Blade Mail
Heart. I cut the waves for 15 minutes, and I was the most farmed hero in the game.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. I like Bristleback. I think now that he got his talent got fixed because it was like bugged or something, and people are experimenting a little bit with Aghanims, but it's definitely not the build. But I don't know.
Wait, what was bugged?
Exciting. His level 25 talent literally just didn't work.
Which one?
The plus warpath damage.
Somebody made a Reddit thread about that.
Yeah, it got fixed like the next
immediately.
Day. Yeah,
it never worked.
Classic.
Yeah, it just wasn't working. The plus 30 warpath damage per stack just never worked.
It just and
it had the higher win rate.
How do you have millions of players play this game and nobody notices?
I don't know.
For how long?
I bet people did, and they posted like on some other Dota like forum or. Does
There's no other Dota forum.
Remember you used to be able to post bugs on that dev forum?
The dev forum?
Yeah, that
still exists.
Does it? Does that?
Oh, it does.
How?
Every time I Google an issue that I know I will never find an answer, it shows me the Dota dev forums unanswered.
Amazing. Way to go, Val. It's a V bulletin for. Oh my! This is like 2007 version of online gaming, dude.
No, when I got my beta key, that's the first link they sent. I was that gives me great memories.
Oh, I agree.
You know?
There's some cool stuff in it, but like it's a V bulletin. It's like, oh my god, it just feels like I'm back in a gaming clan in 2007, honestly. But
hey guys, you want to join my? The first time somebody offered, I was 13 years old. And I'd been I just started playing online games very super recently, so I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Somebody offered me to join their clan. It was the best in the world for Half-Life. Okay. And I was taken aback. I'm like, a clan? That sounds terrible.
You thought that?
What are they, just racist? I thought they were racist. I thought it was like the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
I had no idea it was a team. And then I went and researched it. I'm like, oh my god, that actually. It's a team, and they actually are the best in the world, and they offered me a position. So I tracked him down through GameSpy, which was very difficult to do back in the day. Tracked him down, joined the server, and asked him, can I please join? He said yes. Wow. 2 days later, the clan died.
Oh,
that is my story.
This is, I actually have a story like that.
So you didn't even get your hood in the mail yet. That was it.
No, I didn't.
So I got you beat by a few years. I joined the True Gaming Alliance on my 11th birthday. My name was Bader They and You. It was supposed to be better than you, but there were 8 instead of 3s because I'm a fucking idiot. So I ended up being Bader They and You. I joined this gaming clan. They were located in Kansas. It was a family-friendly clan. You were not allowed to swear, and I loved swearing when I was 11. It was an issue. I still love swearing. So they constantly had to say, you can't swear, buddy. And they eventually wanted me to come to their meetup in Kansas. And even me, at 11 years old, knew that was probably not the best idea. Still, though, True Gaming Alliance, one of the most fun experiences I've had in my gaming career because it was just a fun Counter-Strike server to play on. So.
All right, now I know you guys have been getting off track here. Have you seen these drafts? What's going on?
Yeah, we probably should talk about this.
They went in for a Lifestealer last. They have no break or anything. I guess Avil can probably go Silver Edge or something. This is interesting.
They have nothing for Broodmother.
And then they got brooded.
What do you think, Brax?
This is not good, guys. When you have nothing against Broodmother, this hero wins the game.
Well, you have Beastmaster, right? That's it.
You'll have Beastmaster mid against the Brood. That actually is good. It's
actually a sick combo too, in the idea of because Bristle, I always think of a good Bristle game. I look at the enemy heroes and see how much single target they provide, because heroes are generally balanced around their damage type in a lot of ways. So it's okay, they have a lot of single target heroes. This is good against a Bristleback, but then at the same time, that can kind of screw you over versus a Brood. So this looks pretty interesting.
So then I'm theorizing that you're thinking this is going to be a Clutch Gamers win though for most of you guys. Just
I'm down to go for it. I think EVOS, again, they have a lot of initiation, so as long as they don't completely screw over that mid-game transition to high ground, I could see them kind of doing the same thing as last game.
Right. Okay.
But we'll see. Ooh.
Game 2. Good luck, have fun's coming out. Take it away, Shannon.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that beautiful introduction. Braximus. Hello.
Hi.
Braximus.
Oh no, am I Reginald now?
Reginald. Actually, Braximus does roll off the tongue quite nicely, I have to admit. So we talked a bit about the laning stage of Brood, this specific game. I'm more worried personally, and you can correct me if I'm wrong about this. We can see a little bit of action here. The cogs are forced. Illogic taking a ton of damage from these these cool sprays. I'm more worried about the mid to late game. Lifestealer is 100% useless against Brood. What are your thoughts?
That is true. But there's Magnus.
How important is that? Does that even matter?
Lifestealer against Brood.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters that much. He's playing with Enigma and Beastmaster, so there's a lot of lockdown, and Mirana's going to essentially be a core as well. Like the actual carry. She'll deal a ton of damage. The big thing for me is the Brood Mother. There was the last pick Brood, but it's against Beastmaster, which means Brood's not going to get out of control. You can't stack up the spiders against Beastmaster because you just axe him down. So it's actually not that big of a deal. The big problem is Enigma. It is like a support Enigma where they're dual-lating, he's just denying creeps and playing like the lane support, and then he'll jungle later on. But there's no real reliable BKB lockdown. Like there's RP, but it's not super reliable. But this is a nice play. Look up top. You have the glyph on the creeps, so you can just dive under a tower forever.
Yep, and he's super dead. Level 1 Quill Spray. Quite nice. Clockwork is forced to back up. TP in from Lifestealer. Gabby, of course, pretty much out of mana. Does have 2 mangoes to work with, though. Pops one of them. And they will continue onto the Clockwork, who's just out of range. Your thoughts on Bristleback these days?
Ooh, he's exactly like Beastmaster in the offlane, meaning...
I don't see you play him, though.
Bristleback?
Yeah.
He's not good, that's why.
Alright, that's the answer I wanted.
He's very, like, situationally good. Like,
okay.
He's really good at duel lanes because they can't kill you most of the time, but you still, like, own for, like, 10 minutes and then you kind of just fall off. But, yeah, you're playing... Oh, Jesus. Is he dead? No, he's got a Fairy Fire. Okay, okay. ET taking some tower shots, but he'll walk that one off.
Oh, he takes a Rocket Flare as well. So, does that mean he's good this game, considering they picked him?
I think he gives you something a lot of heroes don't give you. I'm not saying he's good or that he's bad, but he gives you Roche, and he's very tanky.
First of all, you already said he's bad.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Every hero... Okay, that is true. But bad means a lot of different things. You know? It depends on your definition of bad. When I say bad, I mean he's bad in most games. Not that he has no strengths at all. Like, he has his very specific strengths, but he's a hero that desperately needs a lane because he does not come back into a game. When he's underfarmed, he's not tanky enough to survive, and he's not going to do enough damage to actually be impactful. But when he has a good game, he can do that for a while. It's just, sometimes you have a good game and you're still playing against Midnight Pulse and you melt in 2 seconds. It doesn't even matter.
You know, I thought you were digging yourself in a hole there, but you turned it around quite nicely. I'm impressed.
Thank you, thank you.
Bad in most situations. This game remains to be seen, is what you're trying to say.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. And Skylark, of course, playing the Magnus right now. He's playing the safe lane with a Crystal Maiden support. So they don't really have this traditional carry, per se.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you consider their closest carry? The Bristleback, I suppose?
Yeah, some combo of the Bristle and Brood. When you have a lineup like that where you don't have a traditional carry, usually your lineup relies on Roshan, just so that you can actually accelerate the game fast enough to end it before you hit that, like, ultra late game where you're dealing with 2 melee cores into Enigma. So, yeah. They really need a fast-paced game, which Bristleback provides and Broodmother can also help provide, so it's not bad. It can work.
Yol taking a ton of damage in the bot lane. He's going to get out of Crystal Nova, though. Skylark with no mana to speak of, so they won't be able to finish anybody off in this bot lane. But everybody is quite low. Gabby ends up taking a lot of these creeps on this pull attempt here. And will get his health pot completely canceled by that Rocket Flare. What do you think about the pronunciation of that item, by the way? I'm going to let you say it. The health pot, the actual name of it.
Healing Salve?
Okay. Do you know what the actual pronunciation is?
Healing Slave?
Healing Salve.
Oh, okay, that's right, that's right. That is correct.
I actually never knew that. It sounds horrible, though.
It does.
It's one of those things that if you say salve and then you make fun of people or you get mad when somebody says Abaddon, then you have no basis for it anymore. I'm just going to
have no argument.
Because I know 99% of people say salve.
That is true. They do say salve.
Right now, Gabby in this top lane, top of the net worth at the moment, doing very well for himself. Of course, he's forcing Illogic to last hit under the tower. He will take an open wound to the face, but Boombox, as we like to... Oh, I'm sorry.
Boombax.
Trent actually infected my mind. It is Boombax. Might be. Looks like he'll live just barely again. Astral Spirit used, and Illogic has no regen whatsoever. As
Look at the,
Clockwork is going to get both runes.
Do you have the CS chart open? Look at Beastmaster CS.
Radiant's middle
That's
tower
insane.
is under
That's a
attack.
ridiculous amount of spiders. 60 CS? But
Yeah,
it's
how much?
It's only...
How much are they worth?
The spiders are like 3 gold. He's only 200 net worth over Broodmother.
Dire's top
Oh, they
tower
actually are
is
3
under
gold.
Yep, they're
Wow.
3 gold. They...
I thought they
nothing
changed
now.
that recently.
Yeah, they
Was that the
changed it
change?
to feed nothing.
Radiant's middle tower.
Isn't that... Doesn't...
But they made them less tanky, right?
I want to say no,
I
but I'm
feel
not
like
positive.
they've gone back and forth like 5 times on this that I just don't even care. I don't even care to remember anymore. It's just too much for my brain to process, you know?
Does change every other week.
But it is an interesting hero because we've kind of talked about this in the past. It's probably one of the harder heroes to balance in the game because historically speaking, he's either just complete garbage or... sorry, if he's complete garbage, he's one of those heroes that can win the game as a last pick, or he's just too powerful. It feels like there's almost no middle ground. It's a very, very tight balance.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of heroes that are like that when they have a cool concept like the webs and the summons, just because certain heroes just can't deal with it, you know? Not enough AoE, they're resistant to magic, so now only heroes with physical damage nukes can actually clear the spiders. Are these axes invis free, by the way?
I have not been watching that lane. He's going to get the roar off. Looks like he'll live. Nope, I see them. They're a bit laggy, though.
Okay.
They skip some frames. Yeah, not sure what that... It must be a spectating, but I highly doubt they're getting that issue in the actual game. But it's all good. Boombox. Boombacks. God damn it, Trent. He always does this. He always infects my brain with his Canadian pronunciation.
I don't understand how it clearly says boombacks. You know, where's the box there? It's like trying to say that bristleback is bristleback or something.
That's probably somebody's pronunciation somewhere in the world. They do say that.
Click work?
I mean, he's clicking right now just a little bit. Battery assault level 2, dealing a decent amount of damage, but Boombacks keeping his distance now, making sure that he is close to these neutrals.
Yep, Boombox has stacked up the big camp there heavily for Bristleback to farm. Fantastic. Lifestealer can't clear them at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they're really in no jeopardy to lose this stack unless, I mean, even if Enigma comes, it's going to take forever. So.
Yeah, it's true. I think nobody can really clear this, right? Beastmaster will take like 8 casts of axes to clear that. So that's a really nice job from Boombox there.
You're calling him Boombox again.
I know. That's his name.
I thought we agreed that it's Boombacks. You can't flip-flop on me like that. Oh, Gabby, he's going to go for this stack now. Let's see if Clockwork can steal any of these. Does have Rocket Player, only level 1 at the moment, so just going to stay in range for now. Echo Stomp does not connect. Does hit the creeps, however. And Gabby will be getting all of the gold. That is very juicy for him. And he could probably turn on this if he really wants to. So is level 6. Of course, Lifestealer is as well, so can infest to get away. As far as infest bombs this game, you got Clockwork. Technically, you have anybody, since you have Mirana ult.
Right.
Probably a Blink Dagger at some point on Enigma. What are your thoughts on the infest bomb? Is that going to be a crucial part to this game, or is it just like an icing on the cake kind of deal?
Well, it's definitely crucial for Lifestealer to get into these fights. Probably Beastmaster is going to be ideal. I assume he'll pick up some sort of mobility item. But, Lifestealer, I mean, he does not have a lane anymore. Bristleback's level 7 with Vanguard. Pretty much no hero can stand in front of them unless they want to die Bristleback. So he has full control over this lane, and now because of that, Boombox leaves the lane, and now he's just rotating around. It's crazy.
We have an RP in the bot lane. Skewer back into Yol, who is only level 4. They should be able to clean this up, though. The last right click from Skylark will be enough. Yeah, you're right. Bristleback is mega farmed. Super fast Vanguard with the Soul Ring to boot. And considering the lineup, like, who comes and assists out in this? Because against melee heroes, which is 3/5 of their lineup, he will destroy all of them. At this stage, at least. You need to get, like, you need at least 2 to 3, probably 3 heroes to kill him at this point, I would assume.
And that's only if he's, like, solo, too. You know, if there's someone behind him, like an ET or something, that gank's probably just not going to work, because he's not going to get bursted. Like, this is the super strong point of Bristleback where no one can really mess with you.
Bot lane. Oh, the leap just in time. Frostbite almost set up that kill. Wasn't quite enough. Top lane in the meantime. Boom backs. Gets destroyed. Clockwork. Cogs keeps Gabby in play, but ends up being a nice trade for the Bristleback. Here comes a rotation from Reveal on the Beastmaster, and the Infest will finish off that very, very tanky Bristle. And a much needed kill for Evo.
Yeah, definitely. Killing a net worth leader like that is fantastic. That's actual time where Lifestealer can go back to lane and farm. Because as soon as Bristleback comes back to lane, he's not going to want to be there anymore. And, you know, this is just what happens when Broodmother's countered. Like, you have no lane pressure at all. You're pretty much jungling on your side, which Broodmother normally does anyways, but eventually you get to that point where the other person can't lane against you because you have so many spiders built up. It just doesn't work that fast against Beastmaster.
Now we have an arrow attempt on the bot lane, will not connect, but Clockwork is here as well, so Hookshot is available. They're going to try to set it up with a Malefice to start. Black Hole, of course, still online. He will use it. Doesn't look as if there's going to be any TP support saving the Skylark, so does cost them 3 heroes time, but there's no trades coming into effect for Clutch at all, it seems. Maybe a little bit of pressure this tier 1 now, though.
Yep, I think this tier 1 top is actually dead because nobody can really TP into this lane. Lifestealer rotates out of the lane. He has no will to sit top anymore. It is the lane that is no longer alive, or as BSJ has coined it, the dead lane. Do you like that term, by the way? Do you understand what that means?
Explain it. I've heard him say it a million times, and he's probably explained it a million times too, but...
I mean, his definition of it is different than mine, so...
What's your definition?
My definition is like, you stick a hero in a lane. Okay, well there's things going on. I don't want to...
Sorry, Beastmaster's just dead. No, that's fine. Please continue.
Okay, so the way the term was used when I was first introduced to it was you pick a hero, like, the hero that can't be messed with. Like, in this game, it's the Bristleback, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can mess with this guy. He's so tanky that he's gonna, like, attract the attention of, like, 3 or 4 different heroes to his lane just to be able to, like, counteract him. He is the dead lane hero. He can play in this area that no one else can play in just because he's so tanky, so strong at this stage.
The Infest dodges that Elder Titan ult. Whitemon in the meantime able to TP out. So it's the hero that's unkillable, that you don't want to go gank because it's going to expend too many resources. That's your dead lane.
Yes, exactly. This is a lane that no.
So yeah, I remember that from back in the day, like when Abaddon was played as kind of a semi-carry.
Yes,
a lot of dead lanes with that hero.
Fits that. And like a Weaver, like around TI, like nobody can mess with this hero in the lane. You know, at 15 minutes he can be in a safe lane and people aren't going to come to you. Okay. But the new and improved BSJ, I guess, definition of it is the lane you can no longer play in because it's like the opposite of that, of what I just explained, I guess. It's like the area that nobody can play in because it's not safe anymore. Because you hit that point in the game where the enemy is going to make that rotation to finally acquire this tier 1 tower. You're going to be playing in an area where, like, I mean, the off lane for EVOS, right? There's 3 wards in the enemy jungle. No hero can play her safely. This is coined the dead lane because no one can enter this from
But it's not a lane. It's more of the quarter of the map.
Yes.
Right?
That is true.
Like, you're taking, like, 75% of the jungle is unsafe on the enemy side, right? At a certain stage of the game. Yul's getting the crap beat out of him by these ancients, but will live for the time being. Armlet is picked up now. On to Illogic for the Lifestealer. Hood completed for Gabby, so continue with the tanky build. Solarcrest looks to be next on his list. Is this an Orchid for Ajit on its way? Indeed it is.
Yep.
Do you... Like, what do you go after this? Do you rush Bloodthorn at all?
No, definitely not. You're going to need some sort of BKB survivability item so you can actually be useful with this. Every now and then you see Blink, so you can just blink behind the enemy lines and find Enigma from your webs.
Okay.
But, yeah, usually you never rush the Bloodthorn. It's just, you need other items first.
And Lifestealer continuing to apply pressure to his bot lane. You can see a bunch of people on the map right now, so it feels pretty safe. And this tier 1 tower looks to be the next target of choice for Evo. Skylark does not have Blink. They're scouting him out with the Rocket Flare. See if any action actually occurs here, but on the other side, just farming up. Yaku Indra Uta on the Enigma will be going for a mechanism.
Okay. Interesting.
Thoughts on people calling that Mechansum still?
That is how you pronounce it, isn't it? Mechanism?
We'll hold that thought for a second. Here's Enigma. Looks to be... Oh, actually the Orchid wasn't quite enough, but the spiders...
That's the fade away there. You know, the cool dude walking away from the explosion in all those movies.
So, yeah, that almost backfired, though. Luckily, he had spiders to work with.
Yep.
Alright, we do have a Rage pop, and Yol looks to be super duper dead. Roar is placed, though, onto the Broodmother. Ajit is stunned for a little bit. Will turn his sights onto the Life Sealer. Is Orchid enough to skewer? RP will be fake because the skewer was enough to cancel the TP. So a 2-for-1. All they lose is the Crystal Madine. So, Mechanism, I believe it's Lich's voice line. He says Mechanism. So I think it's just called Mechanism.
Oh, okay. You can't argue with the voice line, that's for sure.
That's right, bro.
Well, Abaddon does say it bad, and so I don't know.
Well, I've already conceded that it's correct. I just hate it. It's just like saying, like we just talked about, the health salve. I know it's incorrect, but I like it. Like, just listen to yourself. Does that sound good to you?
No. You know, every now and then I like cooking shows. You know, MasterChef, Hell's Kitchen, whatever. Whenever I watch the Australian MasterChef, it's like the non-like super Americanized. You know, where it's like actually technically skilled and everything. But that's not the point I was trying to make. They say herb every single time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Yeah, I hate that. When people use H when it's supposed to be silent, very annoying.
Just get to every time. I don't know
Do you
why.
say often or often?
I don't know. I don't even think about it, so I'm not
I don't
sure.
think it triggers me, but I don't like when you pronounce the T. Because it's supposed to be silent. I think both are technically correct now,
How
though.
often do you hear that?
Pretty often.
Alright.
Alright, ward is placed here in the bot lane. Whitemon does have...
Blink.
Yep, that's what the smoke is about, I suppose. Want to reveal that in the most fashionable way. Oh, Clockwork will get the hookshot off onto Yol. The Echo Stomp is there. Skewer out, nicely done. Keeping space for the Crystal Madine to live through the day. In fact, Yol will take that for himself.
Madine?
Yeah, Madine.
Are these just the alternate pronunciations?
Yeah, that one's an alternate one. I don't actually say that normally.
Okay.
You just gotta find the right one that triggers people the most and stick with it. Toby does a really good job at that.
I actually was
Australians
just
in
thinking
general
of
do a really good job at
the
that.
Enigma.
I think it's the one that really gets me is when they say melee. Oh, it sounds so bad. Ugh. It's just so dirty. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to say it in Australia. Maybe it is.
Enigma?
No, not Enigma.
I don't think that's the correct way to say Enigma anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was more talking about melee.
Okay.
Now, bottom lane, tier 1 tower. They look to be giving this up. Mirana's going to be pressuring the top tier 1 as well, but defense in the form of Elder Titan, the high ground defender that we all love and hate, will be the one defending there. And it's going to be enough to force Mirana back. Mid lane, they were trying to look, they were looking for something, but the Shadow Blade Infest Bomb on its way. Bristleback, you are in some trouble, my friend. He does get the tier 1, but at what cost? RP being faked, finally used, only hits 2 though. Clockwork Cogs trapping in a couple heroes with a skewer out from Skylark. And Gabby is still alive with a black hole onto 2. Will be enough to find them. In fact, the hook shot will connect now on Skylark. Do they have any cancel with this TP? It doesn't look like that will be today. So a 2 for nothing. Nice turnaround. They do lose the tier 1 tower. But Mirana's getting one for herself.
Very nice. Mirana's actually starting to pick up some items now too. Maelstrom into Yasha with Phase Aquila. The leap talent at 15 makes Mirana do a ridiculous amount of damage. That's when you attack like 4 times a second after a leap. It's insane.
I want to see the percentages of times people take in competitive games a 5-second Sacred Arrow, because I'm pretty sure it's only misclicks are when they take that.
Yeah, I saw it once and it looked like a misclick.
It was the right-clicking Mirana, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a support. Like, the new leap just makes support Mirana way worse.
Yeah, I agree. The old leap was way better defensively, and it was like really hard to kill you. Now it's just way better offensively.
Well, Roshan will be attempted and will likely be successful, although it is scouted by Clockwork, but they're nowhere near.
Yep.
Oh, there are some TPs though, but this is going so fast. They're going to cancel the attempted initiation by the Enigma and just blow him up. Does get his Greaves off though, as far as purchasing is concerned. But doesn't lose any money at least.
Yep. This is very common in competitive against Enigma. Enigma uses hole somewhere, you do Roche, or you take a tower. You force the enemy to react to you, and they manage to snag a freebie there, so... Yeah, I mean, that's just how the game goes. Enigma uses hold, they win one fight, then all of a sudden you're playing against an Aegis, or you're, you know, on the back foot because you lost the tower somewhere. It's always this give and take with these extremely long cooldown ultimates.
I haven't been keeping in the loop as much lately, but I don't think I've ever seen Vanguard on Magnus before. Is this a new thing?
New generation, yes. I guess S4 was the first person to popularize this. Not necessarily the Vanguard part, because it's very common on offlaners nowadays. RP on the Nakes, alright.
Yeah, they're gonna try to blow him up. Night Silence onto Enigma. It doesn't have Black Hole anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. They're gonna skewer him back in. And down he goes. Crystal Medine channeling that ult for no apparent reason. And they're just gonna try to go high ground here. It's a pretty even game as far as net worth. But they do have two big heroes dead for 40 seconds. And buybacks will not be coming. And Gabby with that Aegis and Solar Crest and Yasha. We're going for the full S&Y in fact. Looking quite healthy right now. Gets the earn off, but not going to heal a whole lot. Echo Stomp is there. Skylark with the initiation onto Mirana. They silence him up and bring him down very, very quickly. 10 more seconds for Lifestealer to come back. They might be able to get a full Rax here. Mirana does have buyback. Fortification is down, so this will be a free melee when it's all said and done. Great job from Clutch. Despite it being a very even game at that point.
Yeah, no black hole, and they just blew the game right open. They took Roche, they got a pickoffs, and they managed to get a melee barracks off that.
I hate you so much.
At least I don't say barracks.
Who said what?
That's what I said when I was like 8.
Who says that? What? You said that?
Yeah, when I was like 8 years old.
Okay, well that if you're 8, I think that's forgivable. It's when you're casting.
I wish someone still did that.
It sounds like that Mortal Kombat character. What was it, Baraka?
I have no idea.
That was one of my favorite characters. He was great. Shout out to the Mortal Kombat fans in the house tonight. Not many.
I played that game. Is it fun?
Not anymore. Game's complete garbage.
Oh.
Used to be amazing on the Super Nintendo days. Or even PlayStation. The first PlayStation. Look at the farm discrepancy. Mirana right now. Yasha Maelstrom. That'll help her get her farm back online. But will it be fast enough? Like, how does this hero feel to you as, like, your semi-carry this game?
This hero is definitely very strong. And banned for good reason in a lot of games. Alright, that's a big pickup. A big broodmother. There's the RP.
Oh my. Alright, RP into the Elder Titan ult and the skewer. Wow. Alright, that's probably worth
yeah.
Your clutch. That was nice.
It's go time.
I mean, when you see these drafts, you see these synergies, right? You see these big AoE stuns that hold them in place, followed by ET ult that just does ridiculous amounts of damage, but you don't really see the execution that consistently. This game, I feel like it's been very consistent. Skylark has been doing a really good job setting everything up.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I wanted to go back to the Vanguard point on Magnus. It's more about that people are, since dual lanes are being played, you're getting a lot more farm on some of these heroes, like your traditional offlaners, like your Magnus and your Sand Kings and Axes and stuff like that. And people go for items that help them extend that lead into something else. Like when you buy Blink Dagger, you're essentially spending all your gold on an item that gives you no stats. When you buy a Vanguard, you can use that Vanguard to sit in the lane for longer, and you can pressure through that way instead of being off-map to try to gank people, because it's too early in that point in the game to really play the whole off-map ganking thing. It's more about still just the laning, so it's about that kind of concept, and Vanguard fits that item in this game. Sometimes it's a different item, sometimes it's a hood. So yeah, people are just... The game is about...
What's an offlaner that would not build like that, that's played currently, if there is any?
Ooh, that would not play like that, so that would just rush the Blink.
So...
it really depends on the timings.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot dependent on the lineups and everything like that, but Pango's pretty garbage. I mean, I've seen Vanguard on him before, but there's no way that's like that common, right? Or is it?
It's extremely common.
God damn it. So every offlaner just buys Vanguard now.
Basically, yeah.
In the past month, this has changed.
I would say it's been around for longer than that. It's just that a lot of people haven't really thought about it or adapted to it. It's very common in NA, at least.
Interesting. Beastmaster? No way. No way. I would be shocked if you say he gets Vanguard.
I get it. Sam H.
Serious?
Gets it.
God, that sounds so awful.
It depends.
That's good
right?
though, because Vanguard is just this. It's always been this item that just drops off so hard. Obviously, you can upgrade to Crimson Guard now, but I'm glad to see it picked up.
It's less about the item and more about buying the item that makes you the strongest in lane. And sometimes
Right, so you have this set amount of gold, right?
Yeah.
At that time, and that's the best thing that you can buy for that specific type of hero. That's what you're saying.
Yes, but it's not always Vanguard. Like some games, it's going to be Medallion Phase Boots on Beastmaster, not Vanguard. And for Pango, sometimes it's not going to be Vanguard. Sometimes it's Hood. Sometimes it's Blink Dagger. Sometimes it's a Yule Scepter Rush. But it's just the idea of buying something that gives you the necessary stats to use your lead in a way where you can be a threat on the map while still farming. That's what that does for you.
All right, fair enough. Pretty cool though. I mean, you know me, big strength guy, big initiation guy. Love these fat, juicy, disgusting heroes.
Me too.
I know. We're two peas in a pod, you and I.
You know who might be back for TI? Centaur.
Don't tease me like
He's actually good.
I refuse to believe it. I'm not even kidding. That's not just me I think he's garbage. Like, actual hot garbage.
Okay.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not saying it won't be picked. I'm saying it will lose.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It might lose, but it might look good in the game.
That doesn't mean anything. That's like Pango then.
Okay, that's true.
At least Pango's fun to play. Centaur's not fun to play anymore.
Really?
The only way Centaur's fun to play is when he's good. That's his problem.
You're an objective gamer, you know, just about the W. Don't care how you get there.
I'm a real team player, although I don't buy pipe. I just keep Hood.
Me too.
For myself. Okay. I don't feel so bad then.
That's the way to go. Pipe, waste of money.
Yeah, agreed.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So, what makes him good then?
Just a lot of heroes don't deal well with Stampede. Like a lot of teams pick Lina, and Stampede destroys Lina in general. It's just when heroes like really need to keep their distance to operate. Like TA is really focused in on bursting one hero, and even when you have like Orchid Nullifier against Stampede, you can't kill these heroes before they just escape. It's definitely all about the ultimate.
And that's the problem with the hero, because that ultimate's always been good. You know? The problem with him is the rest of his skills are below average. If you look at every other hero in the game.
Average?
Yeah, I would actually definitely say that. I think Hoof Stomp...
So that's like 4 to 10?
Depends. I think Hoof Stomp is a 1 out of 10. Alright, we're going to see the first Nake's Bomb of the game, it feels like. On the Elder Titan, they will clean him up. And now they're on the run, but Skylark is here, faking out the RP. Rage is still down for another 5 seconds. He doesn't want to RP without any backup, which I'm not sure if he's going to be receiving. Open loses pop. Moonlight Shadow to follow. Beastmaster might be the one caught out. They do have the sentry, and they do have the kill. So 1 for 1. So Hoof Stomp 1 out of 10. Double Edge 5 out of 10. Very average. Okay, I do like that spell.
You like the talent, the plus 300, or what is he at? Plus 300 double edge damage.
It's good. It's good. And then return is like 4 out of 10.
All right. Okay.
Stampede's 8 out of 10.
Radiant's top tower
okay.
Maybe higher. I think Stampede is really
good. That's fine.
Brax, I'm pretty sure I played more Centaur games than you, bro.
You probably
if you count Dota 1. I've played a lot of Centaur. Great fortitude.
I think you'll be surprised.
All right.
When people play like Centaur dual lanes and these carries that get one shot.
I mean, that is one good point, because when he used to be good in Dota 1, I like how we're still talking about Centaur 20 minutes later, but to wrap it up, when he was good in Dota 1, before Stampede was put in, it was because dual lanes were a thing, and he's the king of dual lanes. If somebody can set up his hoof stomp, whether it be a Shadow Demon or somebody of that nature, he's quite good. If you can get that 1 out of 10 stun off, it's good.
I just don't know why it's so slow.
It's real bad.
If this was Heroes of New Earth, the stomp would be amazing.
Yeah, they didn't have him in there. That's pretty crazy. But back to the game that does not have Centaur, believe it or not. If you just joined us, you'd be questioning what in the world are we talking about, because there's no fat monster in this game. There are other fat monsters, and that's how the discussion was started. I blame you, even though it was me that did it. Avil, he's been sitting on this Necro Shadow Blade for quite a while. Almost has Blink. That will be quite nice.
God, his CS is so high, but it's so deceptive. 320 CS at 30 minutes, but maybe 120 of them, 130 or like Spiderlings, they get 3 gold each.
I mean, that's why after 10 minutes you just look at net worth, because CS is almost irrelevant. The Roshan will be attempted. Clockwork looking for the initiation. Yol trying to block it. We'll see if they can get it or not. Hookshot. It will hit Crystal Maiden. Well done by Yol. And now Whitemon has been put in a horrendous position and will be brought down very quickly. Of course, he does have buyback if needed.
I don't know if you've ever taken a look at Magnus's talent. They've been changed multiple times, but he gets very tanky very quickly with his talents now, making items like Crimson Guard go even further. Like he has a 200 health at 10, 15 strength at 15, 12 armor at 20. Like, this hero can actually sit in the front and just stand in front of these heroes, and he's like this big bait because you don't want to use so many spells on him, but at the same time, you can't just ignore him.
Yeah. I mean, 15 strength at 15 is actually pretty insane. I'm pretty sure there's multiple level 20 strengths in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
But there's not very many 15 strengths.
Yeah, that's really good. Very high quality. All right. Well, Avil has the life steal inside him. Has the blink now, of course. Looking for a potential gem at some point. They might have to settle for Yol. That roar, that was quite the range on there. That did not look right. Oh, Gabby's gonna get open wounds. Actually taking a lot of damage. Elder Titanol coming in, can help him out just a bit. And looks like Beastmaster's on the wrong side of that, although, yeah, they do have vision. The gem on Boombacks. And with that Beastmaster dead, I'm not sure if they know if he doesn't have buyback right now. Let's look at the... He's just... No, it's gold related, so there's no way they know. But he is dead for a minute. So 5v4 for the foreseeable future. See if they can capitalize.
This game gets really hard for clutch gamers when Enigma can actually finish BKB. Like, he's 900 gold away from finishing it, but he's got no time at all because EVOS are just... Or sorry, because clutch gamers are just hitting their base now. He's just sitting
part
on
of it is because he had to get the Greaves to take off the silence. That's kind of annoying because you don't want to go for Greaves. You want to stick with the mech in most cases and upgrade that later. And they're going to have to give up this Rax. I mean, Cheese is there if Gabby wants to use it. Won't be forced to, though. And we'll just back up in all likelihood. And that's 2 Rax in... I mean, that was way too easy. Obviously, there's not much you can do with the Beastmaster down, though.
Yeah, Beastmaster's a huge part of their team fight. It's the only reliable way they can start these fights. Because even if you Clockwork Hookshot in, who are you really going on? Like, you can't kill the Bristleback like that. Broodmother has Aegis. There's no real reliable targets for you to go on. You're committed super hard to a fight. The ideal way EVOS takes a fight is they get dove, they buy back, and they fight that way.
He ate cheese, by the way. He already ate it. Out of battle. Wow! Enigma! 2-shot, essentially by Brood. My god. That was filthy. And there's the buyback, like you said. He does have Blink available. See how disciplined clutch gamers are. Very. They're going to back up. No fake back yet. But here comes Avil with that life stealer inside of him. Has the blink, but they do not have vision up there. Arrow will give a little bit. Skylark. Looks like nothing will come of this. And Clutch Gamers again gets away with murder as the tier 3 tower falls for nothing. So they're going to continue on now. Orchid is used on Clockwork, and he's just dead. Pops the wand, but that's not enough. The burn will tick him out.
Yeah, Greaves came second too late.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Veal was spotted. He might just have to go here as this Ranger Axe is dead. All right, there it is. The Nake's Bomb is onto Skylark. Magnus does have RP. Gets it off onto the... Okay, he actually skewers out of the Elder Titan, but the second RP is there. Beautifully done. The refresh picked up not long ago. Buybacks galore, though. Onto Eagle. Let's see if they can hold this or not. Clockwork bought back. Marana and Lifesteal will be the next to fall. He does buyback as well, but I don't know if they can hold this anymore as Gabby is just unkillable. Has the Assault Cuirass now. He's just making as much space as possible as the rest of his team takes out that melee Rax. In fact, they're just going to die. They don't even care. If they can get Lifesteal, that's 100% game, and it is. You tell me when they call it GG, my friend, because they're all muted.
Call GG.
GG! Clutch Gamers!
God.
Wins this best of 3. Game 2 was much more convincing than the first one.
Yep, I agree. Magnus got Blink roared with the Lifesteal inside. Lives. His teammate forces him, so he only RPs one hero. Then he refreshes, skewers him into him, and then RPs both of them. It was nice to see. But yeah, Magnus.
That was a that was an Arise moment. I love seeing refresher Magnus. Super fun. Yeah, true.
Please. Okay.